Hello, you're watching News Mongolia and MNB World. I'm your host, Ayun Basenko. Our top stories. Today marks the 859th anniversary of the birth of Chinggis Khaan. Green Economy, Green Business event held. B.Batbayar, a well-known Mongolian politician and history book writer, is awarded the Order of the Rising Sun and the Golden Ray with Roses. For other news, stay tuned. Today is National Pride Day, the 859th anniversary of the birth of Chinggis Khaan, and it's a public holiday in Mongolia. The day has been celebrated as a public holiday since 2012. It is celebrated on the first day of winter based on the lunar calendar. Due to the lack of written historical records, the exact date of birth of Chinggis Khaan is unknown. It is generally accepted that he was born in 1162 in the north of modern-day Mongolia, not far from Ulaanbaatar, the capital of Mongolia. On November 4th, the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development Resident Office in Mongolia, in cooperation with the Women Entrepreneurs Council at the Mongolian National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, held the Green Economy, Green Business event. The event was held as part of the EBRD's support for Mongolian economic diversification through small and medium-sized enterprise access to finance program funded by the European Union's Asia Investment Facility. We have details from MNB World reporter Bimsuran. The event brought together representatives from the government, international stakeholders, and small and medium-sized enterprises in Mongolia to discuss and share best practices, opportunities, and new trends in areas of the green economy. The event raised awareness of green economy concepts such as green taxonomy, as well as benefits for enterprises that utilize the EBRD's small and medium-sized enterprise business advisory services and funding opportunities that help improve access to green finance in Mongolia.
So we tried to organize the event around COP26 because there's now a lot of public awareness. What does green economy mean? What does green development mean? And today's event focuses really on the small and medium-sized enterprises to increase their capacity to use the green transition and green development as an opportunity to grow their businesses. We saw there is not enough capacity and knowledge in the market. What does that mean? What are the opportunities? And the good thing is small and medium-sized enterprises are very flexible. So it means they can make quick decisions which will help them to use the opportunities in the green development area.
Opening remarks for the event were delivered by Axel Nisis, the European Union's ambassador-designate to Mongolia, and by Hannes Tekes, head of the EBRD resident office. In her opening speech, Ambassador-designate Nisis said the green economy is associated with a wealth of opportunities for individuals and businesses. The EU supports Mongolian micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises so they can lead the transition to a more sustainable and inclusive economy in the future.
And in this regard, we can help Mongolian small and medium enterprises to receive advisory services on how to green the economy. And during this event, we will present some of our projects we already implemented. And for example, we help to audit the energy consumption in the business and also to develop a business plan how to reduce the energy consumption or how to reduce the waste, how to use properly the natural resources.
Opening remarks were followed by presentations of case studies from the EBRD's Green Advisory Project, such as off-grid renewable energy solutions for rural development, energy reduction for milk manufacturing companies, as well as the introduction of the Green Economy Finance Facility for SMEs. Green loans currently account for only about 2% of the total banking system's loan portfolio. The Bank of Mongolia's Financial Stability Council approved the green taxonomy in 2019, and green loan statistics have been compiled since 2020. The data collected so far highlights the strong potential for increasing green and sustainable financing in Mongolia. Thank you for staying tuned on MNB World. Now let's take a look at Mongolia's current affairs.
On November 3rd, the government of Japan announced the names of foreigners to be awarded with Japanese government orders. B.Batbayar, a well-known Mongolian politician and history book writer, is one of them. He will be awarded the Order of the Rising Sun and the Golden Ray with roses in recognition of his valuable contribution to Japanese-Mongolian friendly relations. B.Batbayar was active in promoting the ideology of a democratic movement that began in Mongolia in the late 1980s, and later held senior positions such as Member of Parliament and Member of the Cabinet, notably Minister of Finance. During his tenure as a Member of Parliament, he worked in the Mongolian-Japanese Parliamentary Friendship Group and made great efforts to develop friendly relations between the two democratic countries. He emphasized the value of a democratic society, published realistic reflections on bilateral relations and history, and played an important role in raising awareness regarding Mongolia-Japan relations.
In our country, the gender ratio among teachers is exceptionally high. For example, only 2% of all teachers working in the industry is male. In Ulaanbaatar, for instance, there are only about 10 male kindergarten teachers. One of them, Otrumbat, who has worked in kindergarten for 10 years, is featured in the next story. This is Otrumbat, who works at the Mongol Bayong kindergarten in Hangul district. He is one of the examples that disprove the common theory that men cannot be early childhood educators. He said that it is important to be understanding of each child's needs and also to treat them like friends at times. A day with children is filled with laughter and crying, smiles and tears. They would easily get really emotional and excited and would even call him dad at times.
Every child is different. It requires us teachers to use many different methods when working with them. It is very important for teachers not to be limited to the traditional way of educating, but to learn modern approaches. Teachers should always learn new skills by doing research and studying new practice.
Otrumbat has 20 children in his class. It is not an easy job to feed them, educate them, and teach them basic life skills. As Otrumbat said, when taking a new class, sometimes parents would hesitate because he was a male teacher. There had been even a few times when parents asked for their children to be switched to another class. However, after 1 to 2 months, parents understand that there is no need to be hesitant over their children's teacher's gender.
сайн зажилж идэх нь бидэрт ямар хэрэгтэй вэ хүүхдүүд ээ?
In kindergarten, children learn the skills to take care of themselves and one another. They switch rounds to set off the table and help each other.
At first, it is a little bit uncomfortable to work with a male teacher, but we started to work really well with each other in no time. There is nothing different to assist a male teacher than it is to a female teacher. Every teacher is professional regardless of their sex.
After graduation, Otrumbat worked with 3 fellow male teachers at the 101st kindergarten in Sungunharhan district. At first, it felt quite hard to work at the kindergarten, but he said he never once gave up on his job. He is married and a father of 2. During work, he is focused on educating the children in his class, and after work, he focuses on being a good father. In our country, there are only around 20 male kindergarten teachers. Now let's check on the currency exchange rates provided by Mongol Bank. And here's the weather forecast for major cities around the world. Well, that's it for today. Thank you for staying tuned with us on MNB World. See you next week with more stories and updates. Have a great weekend. Goodbye.